Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Reminisce. My name is Killjoy and I am joined by some people. As always, to my right, Mr. Fruity Sammer with his wine. How you doing?
Not bad.
Not bad
at all.
You enjoying that wine?
Yes.
Some would say, why not?
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, I hate wine, but you know, you enjoy it.
Pretty much.
And to my other right, Mr. Mark Kitchen with no wine.
No wine.
No wine from
Nothing
Mr. Mark.
to whine about.
How are you doing, good sir?
I'm right. I'm trying to pack up a bit because I've been hungover today.
So he's had wine yesterday.
No, I had just lots of beer.
Lots of beer.
Yeah.
So manly.
So deep.
Yeah, I need to wake up. I should have brought some sugary drinks or something.
Yeah, I know you're feeling, man. I've got some water here. Keep me
Like
going.
I'm the one with the fizzy drinks. I'm the one drinking alcohol.
Oh yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, as always, Retro Reminisce is a show about old games that we have played, and we're talking about when we played them, what we like about them, what we don't like about them, and if they still hold up today. And today we're going to be talking about a bit of a MegaDrive classic, Revenge of Shinobi.
Yeah. Not to be confused with all the many other Shinobi games.
This is the one.
There's a lot of them. I didn't realise.
Yeah, it's like
how many there are. To me, there's only one.
Just
so
the
like,
one.
yeah, it's the only one I ever played.
It's always funny how this game's called Revenge of Shinobi. It's the first game.
I know.
Well, it's not. It's not the first game in the series. There are ones before it, but most people would probably think it's the first game.
This is the first one I knew about.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, I always assumed this was the first until Wikipedia was the thing.
Yeah, and also this, it's worth noting that probably most people, when they played this, had the triple pack for the MegaDrive, which was this, Golden Axe, and Streets of Rage. I've never seen a single copy of Revenge of Shinobi on its own. Why would you buy it on its own when you can have the triple pack?
I've seen like the box art for like the individual one, but everyone I knew had this triple pack.
Yeah.
I just find the menu music for the triple pack really memorable as well when you're choosing
Isn't it the same on all of the triple games? Because isn't it the same with the Sonic one? I think it's the same music.
Maybe
it might not be.
Yes, but
in my head for some reason I've made out.
Feeling is slightly different, but there's the same like background.
Yeah.
Animation and that.
They're like really jolly, isn't it? Yeah.
Like it might be the same. I'm pretty sure,
We'll have to
but not
test this out.
not definite.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if it wasn't the same.
It's quite funny because the music's really jolly, but all the games are about murdering people. So it's like
that one. It works well with if it's on the Sonic one.
Yeah, more jolly.
Like, Golden Axe, Shinobi, and Streets of Rage.
Beat the shit out of people.
Surprisingly, like darker side of the MegaDrive collection.
Everyone has fond memories of it all. Anyway, so let's kick things off. Let's start with you first, Mr. Mark. So you played it. Well, when was the first time you played this game?
I've never played this game before.
So this is the first time you ever played it tonight.
All right.
So we had my mate had the Mega Games 2 collection, but we always just played Streets of Rage.
Yeah,
So,
well, it's because it's co-op.
yeah. So I've never actually played this. I've watched people play it. I've watched Dave play it.
Yeah.
So the first time I played this was about an hour and a half ago.
Did you ever play Golden Axe then on that? Or
No.
you just literally just play Streets of Rage?
Streets of Rage, yeah.
It's kind of weird now I think about it. You got like two like really famous co-op MegaDrive games, and then like one single player.
Yeah.
It's like it's a very weird triple pack. They didn't even put something else there that was like Altered Beast, something you could do 2-player.
Yeah.
Like
nobody likes Altered Beast.
no, but you think you put a 2-player
game. It would make
there
way more
rather-
sense, wouldn't it? Yeah.
So no, with 2-player. Like, Sonic 1 makes sense with all Sonic.
I mean, you could potentially put Sonic, even if you put Sonic 2 on it, because that's still 2-player as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but the triple pack of Sonic games makes sense.
Yeah,
You think
yeah,
you do
yeah.
like another
You're
multiplayer one?
Yeah, it would be like Altered Beast. I can't think what else would be. Isn't there Road Rash? Oh, I don't know if that was EA though, when it wasn't Sega.
It's not fair, not first party.
Yeah, but you're right. It's very odd. But so this was the first time you played it.
Yeah.
No nostalgia then whatsoever.
No, unfortunately not.
Can you reminisce?
Not really.
I got nostalgia for the box.
There's like
Dude.
the one picture on the
Yeah,
back
this
there.
face with like the sword. Like.
To be fair, the box art it's one of those things that's of its time, isn't it? Where you know, like box arts sometimes they're either really good or they're not even related to the game.
Yeah.
Like, this one's just kind of like a dark guy with a sword and there's a weird dude behind him on it, and it's.
What's so weird is that like the sword is on the box art, where like the kunai is like the main weapon of the game.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, it's a ninja, isn't he? But then ninjas
like, he has a sword in the image.
Yeah,
You think
yeah.
you'd have like the little kunai like pointed like.
You'd
front
think
of
so.
him.
Maybe like,
Yeah.
but maybe it doesn't look cool. But like, yeah.
Everyone likes a sword, I guess.
All right. Well, we'll leave you for the minute. And we'll go over to Mr. Fruity. So obviously this is a game
That was a bit shorter than.
I know. This is a game that you've obviously played a lot of. So when was the sort of like first memories of playing this?
I was trying to reminisce before, trying to work out when we had this game. It's like, I think it's the same day. I think it must have been like my birthday, like 3, 4, maybe probably like 4 years old. I think when we got the MegaDrive. My older brother would have been like 5 at the time. So yeah, I was there about 4.
Yeah.
So I remember getting this. I don't remember not having this game and the MegaDrive. I remember having the Sonic Collection at the same time. So I think they all came together. Maybe I was slightly older, slightly younger. I can't remember. Yeah, like I spent a lot of time playing this. Like, not really appropriate for like barely like above like toddlers.
You're like 4 years old. You're playing. I don't think I played anything like this that young.
I got further when I was younger than now when I was doing this.
It's your time to put into it.
It's probably better playing like less realistic games at that age, and that, like as opposed to like 4-year-olds now getting hold of like Resident Evil 7 or something.
Yeah.
Stab a dog and it's gonna explode on me.
Dead Space or like
GTA.
Dark and grim.
Yeah, it's a weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird actually. Now I think about like. It's kind of
it doesn't have an
much
age rating on the
darker
box,
game.
does it? Thinking about it, there's no age rating on the box, so I would set this as probably like of its time. It's probably more like a 15 or something or a 12.
Yeah,
it's more of like a
considered to be
doomy
violent.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess there's no blood there, 'cause they will explode rather than like it's not like blood or gore.
It's got a sense of peril though.
Everything like, explodes.
People getting burnt with flamethrowers and
And this was like proper like growing up, like me and my older brother trying to like get as far as possible in the game. Like I think we rarely got past like area 2, but like us like trying to work out like how many kills we needed to do like levels and like working out like when to use like special attacks and like when to like be like cautious and stuff. Like we pretty much like mapped out like the entire levels. Like we put so many hours into this game.
Yeah. What you do when you're a kid, when you've got a less selection of games and things.
I think pretty much other than like Sonic, this is where the game we put the most into, other than like Gain Ground, to be honest.
Yeah.
Should Gain Ground be good in this multi pack?
Yeah, Gain Ground would make
that would actually
way more
work
sense.
quite well, actually.
That's just because these. I don't know if the other two were arcade games, but
Mr. Killjoy, Levi,
somebody. So I honestly don't remember the first time I played this. The earliest memory I can think of, and I may have played it beforehand, was when my mate gave me his MegaDrive in like 20 games, and it was like obviously the one we played tonight is the one that he gave me, and I remember like playing it, and I feel like I always get to like the second level, but I don't remember like ever beating that boss or anything. Like when we played it tonight, I'm like, I just don't like have memories of this game. Yeah, no. The first boss, the samurai guy.
Oh.
Yeah, like I remember like
I should have cheese that.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't
that
think I ever got past like the waterfall bit. I think that's where I got to.
The waterfall bit with the 3 logs is
yeah.
like so insanely hard.
But I have lots of memories of like Streets of Rage and Golden Axe. But I like this game. I know I've played it, but like trying to remember about it, it's like I feel like I obviously didn't play it a lot. Because I don't really remember it, and it's like even tonight, you know, like I've said in the past, you know, if I play a game that's got really good music, which this game does, I generally remember it, and I really don't have many memories of this game. So I have a feeling that maybe I may be talking out my bum, and maybe I didn't actually get past the first boss.
I feel a lot of people just know the first stage.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would be surprised that you actually go to like modern era.
Yeah, the game changes drastically after like the second level.
Yeah, I remember reading the story. There's something about like some pupil of your master like kills everyone in your like dojo-y thing, and then you go across to like America to like chase him down or something. It's like a crime lord.
That's the revenge.
It's like a super like generic like synopsis, but that's like why
every
you
game.
Like, so I think when you cross like the stream is when you go to like America, I guess. Cause, like that stream you go across the water. I guess meant to be like the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Probably not to scale.
But yeah. That would make sense. But yeah, I generally don't have many memories of this. So like I know I've played it, and I played it obviously before tonight. I've seen stuff of it.
You definitely see me play this before.
Yeah, I've seen you play this loads of times.
I do play this quite
so I was like, oh yeah, like I know the game well enough to be like, oh, I recognise bits, but yeah, I don't really have many memories of it, and that's kind of weird because it's obviously part of that pack. Like maybe I have more memories of that pack and less of the actual game. So, you know.
I think everyone played Streets of Rage the most out of those three. I don't think anyone didn't play that the most.
I mean, everyone knows Streets of Rage. That's like one of Sega's, or was one of Sega's biggest things at the time. You know, like
I'd love to see a reimagining of Streets of Rage.
They needed to get on that shit.
Yeah.
But
that'd be really cool.
All right, well that's kind of our memories-ish. I know you're only the really one freak that has like proper memories of this. Like, I obviously do, but I don't really remember.
I wonder who recommended we do this as a retro reminisce.
Me. So let's throw over to Mr. Mark. So like, let's talk about things we like about this game. So obviously you've only played it for about an hour and a half, and you know just kind of got the grips with it. But what do you like? What did you like about this game?
I like the music, but it's pretty much like a positive in every game we've.
Yeah, the music is really.
There is a theme
cool.
between the games that we play.
Well, most of the music, anyway.
Yeah.
It's like some of it was quite kind of very well. It was all very typically MegaDrive-y.
Yeah. Definitely, some of it sounded like Streets of Rage. Some of it sounded like Sonic. You can tell.
To be honest, like a lot of MegaDrive games sound the same, like instrument-wise.
It's the chip inside of it. Yeah.
They're all. Yeah.
That hip hop vibe going on.
Kind of, It's like hip and cool in the 90s, ladies.
Yeah.
Everything's wickedy whack, yo.
And anything else? Obviously, the soundtrack, like you're saying, on the levels and stuff, is really good.
I like the level Dave was doing where there was stuff in the foreground and stuff in the background.
Oh,
the fence ones.
Yeah, it's a really cool mechanic, actually. Really cool. I do like that.
It's definitely my favourite level, but it's also really hard.
Yeah.
There's like a slight, like, grey tint to things in the background. But when you're in the background, they're like the same colour, so like it's not by the character's perspective, it's by like the screen looking on. It makes it really confusing when there's like multiple grenades.
Oh my god, there's shit everywhere!
Is that foreground and background? Oh shit.
Yeah.
And I think the bullets pretty much stay the same colour. So
Yeah.
like, it's confusing.
I do like that though, like you're saying, with the different stages, because they're kind of all a bit different. They all kind of have their own mechanics, some better than others, that's for sure, but like, I think that fence one is a really, really cool design.
It's before the spike goes up insane.
Yeah. And we should probably point out as well, like, unfortunately we did kind of have to fuck around with some controllers while playing this, because for some reason none of the MegaDrive controllers we had actually work properly. Like, generally they're okay, two of them, but the others don't, and
this is a game where it's not like Sonic or something. Like, this is a game where you have to be really precise.
Yeah, and that could have. And I'm trying to be, you know, as objective about that as possible, because there's a lot of issues that might be because of the controllers we were using. But
spoilers.
Well, yeah, maybe. But yeah, just before
not that section.
I thought we should bring that up. You know, so
yeah.
But yeah, carry on. Anything else you like, Mr. Mark?
A lot of the enemies are pretty cool. I like the flamethrower guys, and they're kind of like
the hitbox and that flamethrower.
Swordy guys.
Yeah, I find it interesting how quickly it changes, because after the first few levels, you're like, you know, samurais and ninjas, and next thing you know, it's guys with guns. Just the army. You're just fighting the army. It's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, there's quite extreme differences in settings and stuff.
We've gone from 4-star to 5-star, whatever it is.
Yeah.
GTA.
Yeah,
5-star, get the army.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool that the enemy design is fun in this, though they are kind of odd. By the way, they're very stiff.
Oh, we didn't see Klinga on the bottom ground of the city level. I think it's like Hong Kong. I don't know, we got Hong Kong vibes from it. But
yeah.
We didn't see like the women with like the attacks.
I remember that you got the ninja karate guys.
Yeah, you got the karate dudes that do like the jump and kick. But there's like the women at the bottom.
You only see them in that one level though.
Yeah.
Unless they're obviously, we didn't complete this game. We should probably point that out. We didn't get to the end of this game, so there might have been other bits there. But like, yeah.
It's a disclaimer for someone who's put too many hours into this game.
It's hard.
It's really hard to get to the end of it. Like, I've seen the ending on like Let's Plays or like speedruns.
Yeah.
Speedrunning this game is also very impressive.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But
yeah, I've still yet to ever actually finish this game on my own. I refuse to like save state for this game.
No. Anything else?
Doesn't count.
Not that I can think of.
Oh, all right.
I might like throw in some random opinions as you start talking.
Yeah. No.
It's hard going first.
Yeah. I'll throw over to you, Mr. Fruity.
Kind of like everything. Like replaying it today. I know it's like a tried and like tested fucking phrase. but this is very much like the Dark Souls of platformers. Just in the way that like it does the same bit in my brain.
Yeah.
Like that bit in my brain which is like, do that again. Learn this boss. Like that kind of that Dark Souls like
Trial and
error, and also like feeling that sense of like progression, like trying to like conquer like the enemies. Like it's got that kind of vibe to it, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
I think it's why I keep going back to this game. So I really enjoy that sense of like testing myself. And like I don't think I've watched a couple of like speed runs and that. Like I've never like tried to learn like other people's knowledge.
Yeah.
Like I've tried to like I still don't know what any of like the cheat codes are for this level. Like for this level,
I found one earlier
for this game and stuff like that. Like I'm always kind of like refused.
Yeah.
Like finding like hidden boxes on my own in levels. The ones that like
yeah.
don't that like appear like half in walls and stuff like that. Again, at the fence level, yeah, you jump rather than going straight to the exit. If you jump over again when there's like the wall blocking you, and do the jump attack, you can get like an extra like continue. I think it is.
Yeah.
Or it might be ninjutsu because some of the boxes are very hard to actually work out what they are.
Yeah, like a weird like it's like a Japanese symbol on it. And
Yeah,
stuff,
like the one-ups and stuff are kind of hard to work out if it's
Yeah,
a one-up
yeah.
or continue or like a ninjutsu. Yeah, like that. I really like the sprite work in this.
Yes.
I think it works quite well with like the kind of like feel. Like everyone, it feels like proper like humans. Doesn't feel like cartoony and stuff.
The artistic sort of backgrounds and what you've got and the character stuff all kind of gel very well together.
Yeah, and like the backgrounds. Like, I know some of the water effects were kind of hurting our eyes, but like at the beginning when like you start off in like daylight and as you walk along, like it goes to like night time as you like walk into the thing and that like. And like the boxes, the weapons, like the weapons the enemies have and stuff like that, I think are all very like it's easy to work out what someone's going to do.
Yeah, I suppose the graphics
Like-
are pretty good.
They are for
Yeah,
what it
like
is,
at
they're
the
actually very clean.
time, having like a dude being ready to throw a grenade mid throw and then throwing it as like sprite art is really quite good. It's kind of like it looked very humanoid as well. They don't look like cartoony, which I quite like.
Yeah, they've got a very specific.
Yeah, like the layout of like the junkyards, like cars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's all very cool. Yeah, music, visuals. I really like how you have a multiple different power-ups. And how you can choose different like special moves.
Yeah.
So you can choose like the fire that does like AoE damage to everything on the screen. That you have the lightning shield that soaks damage or lasts a certain amount of time. You got the shadow jump. I don't know any of these wings are actually called. You got the shadow jump where you get like multiples of you. Yeah, but like individual ones. I know they've got names, but I've always called it shadow jump.
Yeah.
That's really fun. So you get to like jump really high, and I think you move slightly faster when you're going across the screen.
Yeah.
And then you have the self-destruct, which
Just kills everything.
I just never wanted to click normally because I'd be like, oh god, just screwed myself over. It's so dangerous but so powerful. I quite like how there's like hidden moves, like the extra moves, like you have to kind of like trial and error to know you can do like the double jump attack.
Yeah.
And like how if you move next to enemy to do like a melee attack, so you get to save your kunais.
Yeah, you kick. If you
I
duck
like
it.
how your range attacks are actually like matter. It's like if you've only got like 10 kunais left, you've got to be very careful. Which is something I quite liked as a kid because like most Sega games have like unlimited ammo.
Yeah.
Which is something I quite liked in this. I think it's pretty much just don't have much to complain about, like the visuals, the sound, or like the challenge is all things that keep making me come back to this game.
Yeah.
I think that's everything.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it.
This
then,
level
like,
variety is another thing.
Yeah, I was just
pretty
thinking
cool.
about like what I figured out why it's on this pack. Because every single game on that pack, if you push the A button and not know what the button does, you will cause the super moves to happen.
Yeah.
So like Streaks of Rage, you'll cause that.
That's true.
Golden Axe, you could use your magic.
They have a very similar button, maybe.
That's what
Yeah.
they. That's
Yeah.
what
That's
they
what they
based
knew.
the pack
That's what I
around.
knew.
Same company.
It's
Namco?
all Sega.
Oh, Sega. I
They're all
thought they
Sega
were-
games.
Oh, so maybe I was thinking Shinobi was like second or third party.
No, it's first party. It's made by Sega.
I did not know that.
Because this, I don't know
Makes
why.
sense.
Like to me, like whenever I play a game, the first button I'm going to push is like in a MegaDrive is the furthest button to the left, and I played this the other day. I like played the mobile version.
Yeah, I
which
think
don't
a
do
lot
that.
of people do that.
Don't play the mobile version, but I did play it, and I hit the button, and I was like, oh, I've accidentally set off my lightning shield. I was like, great, that's really what I wanted to do.
I think everyone does that, to be fair.
What do you like about the game then, Levi?
What do I like? I actually really like this. Well, it's the obvious thing. Soundtrack is like this game really like sings. Like the music is at the front. Like it's really in your face. It's really pumping. Like yes, the sound effects are quite loud as well, but if you could turn the sound effects off and just have the music on, I mean, don't do that because you need to be able to hear things. But the soundtrack's like really
shut off screen.
It's also like really like very un-ninja like this music. It's very much like
and also
really,
you're not a ninja in this. Like
yeah,
you're never like
you're
never being stealthy.
No.
Like you're always just like going as a horde of enemies.
And you're also like you're wearing the same outfit.
It's not like a covert operation, is it? Like,
No, you're in the middle of the streets in like
Yeah.
ninja outfit. Everyone's just like got guns. Like what the fuck are you doing? This game has very simple controls. At the basic level, it's just jump and fire. So it's like Mario in that sense. It's you have a jump, you have a fire button, and you do have a special button, but you don't actually need to use it. Like everything, as far as I'm aware, you can probably do most of it without it. Obviously, it's like
try to not use it
yeah.
as a way of like making the game harder for myself. I've yet to actually finish
you-
it, but I try not to.
Can you use the power like one of each per level, or do you can only choose?
Nah, you get one. You have
get
to
one,
choose.
right?
But you can get those some
Pickups.
of the pickups. You can
Yeah.
get like another ninjutsu,
Yeah.
but they don't stack. So once if you got one to go,
Use
and
it,
then pick up one, it still
Yeah,
counts as one. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just wondered because I was thinking, I was like, oh right, yeah. But yeah,
I forget I have them, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've never really used them.
Oh god, I think the lightning shield's probably my favourite purely because it's just a way of some of those areas. If you don't know what you're doing, are very tough. So having something just to get an extra shield
the
is
fire damage on the bosses can
which
really help. A lot of damage.
And obviously level designs and the different designs of the levels because you start off on a more like a traditional sort of garden level with this like shack. And that's really cool. Then you're in like this forest, and then you're in like a city.
Sort of like Edo, Japan, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
And it's quite cool that you're not like it's not the whole game. It's like no level outstays its welcome. So there's two like sort of phases to the first one, then a boss, and then it completely changes. And then you're
different
like,
colours and textures.
yeah, you got like conveyor belts. You're on an airship.
Because even in like the
Scrapyard.
first one, they're still very similar, but the two stages are very different.
Yeah,
It's like you have like the second stage is all about like going up and down like into tunnels and like it's more like vertical, whereas the first one's more like
horizontal,
linear. So even though they're the two stages that look more the same,
Yeah,
except for maybe the airship and like the factory.
yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting.
That's pretty much it in terms of things I like about it. Like it's easy controls
Foreboding.
and things like that. So let's move on to things that we don't like. I'm quite happy to start this if you'd like me to.
Okay,
but-
yeah.
Yeah?
You can go on.
Okay, I think the most obvious thing for me in this is just this. Like you said, this is a game that's about learning and stuff, but there are so many placements of enemies that are really cheap, and there's also the fucking like some of the attacks are really like unpredictable. So if you've never played this game before, and you have to learn that thing that if you duck, the enemy ducks and all that. But there are some times where the enemy will be like on a plane, and you'll walk along and they can hit you, but you can't hit them, and stuff like that. Or it's a bit where two ninjas will spawn. If you don't duck, they hit you.
That's why
Or
you
like-
have to crouch to make them crouch, so then they can't hit you. So then,
Yeah.
or you can jump over them and hit them.
Like the dogs, if you don't know the dogs there, they're not the.
I always got hit by
yeah,
the
they're not
dogs.
the worst things in the world, but like some of the enemies are fine, but there was just
The thing with the dogs is you just walk up and just attack them.
just
Then
stab
it's
them
only if you're walking into that frame.
until they get you. But I think the biggest offender of this is like the cheap sort of things where with some of the boxes you get bombs inside of them, and it's like if you don't know they're there, and the bombs are weird. It seems like the closer you are, the quicker they explode.
Yeah.
If you don't know they're there, like I got killed on the second level and it just insta killed me because it knocked me down a hole.
They don't
I had
look-
no idea it was there, and it's
They
like
don't look like bombs, so I just stood on it trying to pick it up, and then
Yeah.
it was a bomb. So.
and there's too many times.
Doesn't look like a bomb.
Too many times this game felt to me where it was like I didn't have a chance. Like I would unless I died and learnt, which is like can be frustrating and can be like fun. There were too many times where I was just like fuck you game, where I'm just like hang on a minute, like this seems really unfair. There was a bit where there was a samurai guy, and like I know that you can drop through platforms now, but at the time I was like how the fuck do you get past this guy? Because trying to jump over him I couldn't, and there's spikes behind me.
Just crouch and he can't hit you.
I couldn't though. That was the problem. I couldn't get down to crouch in time without getting hit. He was right on the edge. and like you basically cheesed him. Like he dropped down.
Oh,
and
you
went
mean
over
the
here,
way
yeah.
I walk backwards and
Yeah,
he
yeah.
walks into
And like,
the pit? Yeah.
and obviously there are ways around some of this stuff. Like obviously it's a learning thing or not, but it's really frustrating.
But you
when
can
you're
still shoot him from far away. You just have to like
time it.
wait until he like goes up to like the big attack.
Yeah, but like, you know, I only got to the first stage of the second level, and obviously there was an issue with the water on that one. It's very hard to see what you're doing. You got these guys that are flying around. I couldn't see their attacks, but then to like jump onto this box.
It's like navy, what was that, light blue on light blue, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just not the easiest thing to work.
I'm not saying like all the enemies are badly placed. I just think there are too many times where it's like, especially, and this game's hard anyway. Like difficulty doesn't take long to ramp up, but like in that first level, it's like, whew, fucking hell. Like some of the enemies are just like some of them just jump up, chuck a star at you, and it's like, well, unless I know it's gonna happen.
True, like the AI like doesn't always do what you expect. Sometimes it does get a bit confused.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times the enemy placement that's kind of like setting up situations. A lot of them are scenarios to try and deal with. Like the one with the water level is like the outfit that the ninjas are wearing in the water. It's a really bad combination.
Yeah. It's just
Especially like the winged dude that's like going around in
yeah,
a circle.
yeah.
It's really hard to work out. And like also like the orange is actually quite hard to see on the navy blue, which sounds like it shouldn't be a problem.
But
I think because it goes between navy blue and like white, it somehow makes the orange hard
like a
to see.
rainbow-y sort of thing. Yeah.
So orange shouldn't be hard to see on navy blue. They should be
You'd
opposed.
think, but
Very weird.
yeah, I think it's just one of the. I think I've got to that point now where I've also been playing another game that's kind of like a remake of an older one, and I'm kind of getting a bit like sick of shitty enemy placement. I'm kind of like I
Like
don't have
Sonic 2.
Yeah, Sonic 2 Metropolis Zone. I don't have the patience for it anymore because I'm like, a level should be designed where you actually feel like the first time you encounter something, you should have a chance to avoid it. Not necessarily that you will always avoid it, but a chance to avoid it.
Depends. Like, what do you mean? Do you mean like literally like something goes on the screen, or like?
No. I mean like if something like the ninjas in this, for example, the two that appear in front of you, and like one in front of you, one on that, and they jump, and they I think you have to duck to avoid them. But like if you've never played it
You
before,
can jump back though.
yeah, but it's quite
and, like,
quick,
hit
isn't
them
it?
on their like landing.
Yeah, but I think you literally have to duck or attack instantly to like kill the one in front of you.
But like, it's that kind of game.
Yeah, but it's to basically do
It'd
that
be
to you on
like,
the
oh, I
first
thought
level.
Dark Souls was a brawler. Like, well, no. If you're gonna go into this like not being patient, it's a game that requires you to be patient.
Don't you think though, like for a first level, that they chuck a bit too much stuff at you? Because like, I don't get me wrong, like it's
Compared to late levels, not really.
But, like, in the first level, you have
well, you have
three
both
types of enemies.
Yeah, but the two enemies come up one by one at the beginning. So you got the ninja with like the shurikens.
Yeah.
You kill that dude, then like the samurai dude comes over and you defeat him.
You've got the dogs as well.
Like the dogs aren't in that right at the beginning, but those two are in like the first screen, like isolated.
I don't. Yeah. I
So
don't
like
mean.
it gives you a chance to take each one on like separate from like any other like problems.
Yeah, no, I mean like in terms of the fact that you already encounter three types of enemy, which isn't the end of the world. Like that's fine. But then you have to deal with the fact you're still learning, because with the ninjas you have to learn that when you duck, they duck, so their attacks will change depending on what height you're on. You also have to realise that some of them jump, so and then also on that level there's
They
that
jump
extra
when
plane.
you get too close to them.
Yeah.
Like they then try to jump over you.
And there's also that extra plane of that height.
Yeah.
So there are some times where you're like, you're dealing with quite a lot of stuff on that first level. I'm not saying it's like unfair. But there is a point where you are walking along and two dudes spawn, and like if you don't know that's going to happen, you get fucked. Obviously, you learn
It's
it.
true, but then like,
But I think it's really
it's
unnecessary.
the kind of game where like you go in like expecting to die. Like, I know it's harder. Like if like 4-year-old me picking this up and being like, oh, what's this? There's a ninja guy. I should try and play this. Like obviously like word of mouth and stuff wasn't affecting me. It wasn't like someone was like, oh, this game is really hard, you got to play this.
No, you just.
It's not like when I went into Dark Souls being like, okay, I need to like be patient and be like very aware.
Yeah.
But like, there's no real difference between that and this. It's like, it's almost like you need to be careful in this game. You need to be like expecting things. Then when things happen, you're ready to react.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially when it's hard now to think of this as like a new person, because to me, like, I'm very used to this game.
Yeah.
I can't remember everything, but like, and also like, the randomness and like the AI's like decisions make it so like I'm still like surprised by some stuff.
Yeah.
Like when the enemy just wouldn't crouch. It's like, why are you not crouching? You should be crouching.
Duck, damn it.
And like when I was like 2 sprites above where the box was, and I was still stuck in my melee attack. Because I was like somehow near enough the box to be like, oh yeah, you want to melee this.
There's a weird
like,
thing
I
going
can't
on there.
hit this at all. So like, it's definitely not bug free. But like, I think a lot of the placement stuff is designed to be like a challenge.
I
And
think
that sense of trial and error is present in like
a
say,
lot of
the,
old games.
like the minecart levels in Donkey Kong. You know,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
never
yeah.
going to do those levels first time round. So,
But I mean, okay, the thing with those minecart levels, and like especially in the first one, it's like I think it is doable first time. I mean, it's still
So is
pretty
this.
unforgiving. I don't even think completing the free like the first stage, second stage boss. I don't think I would ever watch anyone do that first time.
Maybe not boss, but the first stage and second stage.
The first stage, the second stage probably less so because the bit underground it is quite tough if you don't realise that you're spawning. I'm not saying it's not impossible.
But also it's the thing like back in the day you didn't have like space to like introduce things slowly.
No, that's true. You only have like so many levels.
I mean, I think I get to like end of stage 4, like it's not that near the boss. I think that I can't remember how many
stages
there
there
are
are,
now.
but yeah,
I think there's like 8.
it's
Like 8 worlds. Like I think I get at least like 3/4 of the way through. I think
yeah.
maybe not. I can't remember how many.
I
remember
think
watching it before, but like you don't have a lot of time to like introduce everything.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of like trying to do this is like trying to set it apart.
yeah. I
So
think,
it's also important to have those in the first level to be like, you need to be paying attention. If you want to just like press right and then press a button every now and then, play Sonic.
Yeah.
Like this isn't a game where you can just like run.
Yeah, you can't even run in this game.
It's
It sort
like
of runs at one speed. Doesn't it?
It's like you're like Ninja Gaidens or something like that. Like
Oh my god.
you gotta be expecting to die, or like Ghost and Goblins.
Oh yeah, Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins.
Oh my god, yeah. But like it's that kind of game where like this was probably designed for like a more mature player.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
I feel like that's important in the first level because it's like you need to be aware. Like if this has got you.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to be a lot better in 2 levels time.
I think I've got kind of lost my tolerance for bullshit in games a lot of the time now. Like I really don't like stuff that just feels
this
a
is
little
designed in
bit
a different era.
Yeah, I know.
If
that,
this
I know
game
that.
came out nowadays, you'd be like, "What you did?"
Yeah. I'm not like. The thing is, I actually quite like the game. Like I think the game's like. I mean, generally, like I think it's quite well put together. But I think it's just like.
I guess now it came out now. It'd be
To
like
be
a
fair,
or something.
Yeah. When we played it, I've obviously seen enough of it to know that I'm not just going to run through the first level. But even then, like, just that one instance of those 2 ninjas spawning, I was just like, this is actual bullshit. I mean, like, and the only other part of that I was, like, generally pissed off about was that one box has a bomb in it, and as soon as it blows up, you get launched left or right, you're instantly dead, and that's on the second level. And, like, that, to me, is bad game design. Like, I should have a chance to avoid that. Like, even a slight one, like, if I hit the box and I jump instantly, fine, whatever, but...
And you can avoid bombs if you cut them and then move.
True, but this, like...
My main problem with that level, with like the city,
Yeah.
is when you get to that point where there's a gaps too big. Cause like it's basically just like bottom row, then like the top of the buildings row, and there's that bit where I told you I thought was a jump before, where I was like, if I double jump this, I still can't make it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh no, it's not this one, it's the next one.
Yeah.
So the next one was like, oh, it'll be fine. I just double jump and I'll make it to the other roof, but you can't.
Yeah.
So you have to like jump, then like lean backwards away from the hole that you know is going to be on the ground, but not you can see.
Yeah.
And then double jump from like the bin
Yeah,
up to the other roof.
That's something else that I don't like.
that bit is bullshit. Like I agree with you on that.
Any game that has like instant like drop deaths like that you can't see coming, that's always a no-no.
The thing is,
for me.
you can drop down, you'll be fine. But it's if you try and jump forward, you die. And like with how far that pit is, you can't. Yeah. That bit I don't understand. I think that's a really
badly designed. Yeah.
But bad design are just like badly implemented. And they drew like the map. They're like, oh yeah, this seems a good idea.
Yeah.
And maybe every playtester just went along the bottom row.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like, oh, this is fine.
All
4 people like this.
Speaking of jumping, I think the double jump in this game is like, I don't think it's frame perfect, but it's really like there's only
Double
a few
jump
frames.
needs a wider window.
Yeah,
I think
it's-
everyone agrees on that.
I'm not like, you know, once you find the rhythm, it's not so bad. And obviously, again, we were playing with some dodgy buttons, so it did not help.
Yeah, the controller didn't help.
But it's
Especially when it's required, like on the factory level. The
first
first jump, you have to double jump, and then the second jump, the third jump after that, when you gotta go into the crane hook, which is moving along.
Yeah.
You have to double jump that as well. The amount of times I messed that up in a row trying to double jump on that, surprisingly hard.
It seems to be like an old game problem. Like when I played Super Metroid, it's a slightly different thing, but like the wall jump in that game is unnecessarily like finicky. Because you'd think, obviously now we're used to things. I know things have changed, but like if you're like double jumping in most games, you've got quite a big window, or you have an infinite window to do it. Same with like Metroid. If you do a wall jump, most games will hand on the wall, they'll keep sliding until you choose to jump. But in this, like it feels like you've got maybe like 3 frames. Like it doesn't feel
The
like
problem
a
is
lot.
you like jump, and where like your jump arc like levels out, you've got that frame because like it is quite a while. The
Yeah.
problem is you can't do it early.
Yeah, and then that's
So if you
fucked it.
jump, reach like the zenith of your height. If you double jump then, you're fine. And if you double jump after you've reached that zenith and before you go down, there's actually a lot of frames afterwards.
Yeah.
Because like, if you saw, like a lot of times when I was playing, you can like nail it as you're like pretty far down, and you still do like the jump air attack. Even when you're like barely off the ground that you started on.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if you try to input a jump command before you reach the top of your jump, it doesn't work.
Just eats it, yeah.
So rather than you thinking like, oh, you've got some frames before you reach the top, you don't, but you have those frames after you reach the top. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's just a bit finicky. That's I think,
it's the amount of times you're like, go, and then
I think
it doesn't.
the reason why it's also a bit finicky is because obviously you have that special attack when you double jump and then attack, and if you can't, because it makes some parts of the levels a little bit easier because you can there's a spread shot, but if you can't consistently land it, it makes you're gonna get hit or you're gonna dump, and it's just a little bit frustrating. I mean, I for the most part managed to hit it when I wanted to.
To be fair, the controller we're using,
it was
could also be an issue.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this is like
I think this is an issue of every time I play this game. So I don't think this is, even though I've played like emulators of this game, this is still like an issue, not as much of an issue.
But yeah, it's one of those things you just kind of have to get the timing down, and like that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely feels like the window is smaller than it should be. And my last thing that I've got here is just hitboxes. Some of them are just a bit wonky. Like there were some enemies on later levels that you were killing that I was surprised you were hitting, and sometimes like the grenade hitboxes were a bit fucking weird, or when the guy's chucking grenades. I mean, it's not particularly game breaking. It's just it just adds to that slight, you know, obviously just with a slight sort of annoyance of how sometimes the enemies attack and move, and the way that, like if you're near a box, you can't fire off a ranged attack because it thinks you're near a box, so it needs to melee. There's like some weird stuff going on there. Generally, it's not a problem. Yeah, just odd how the hitboxes are a bit funky. Definitely noticed it while playing, but other than that, that's like my main gripes with this game. I think just in terms of, I think a lot of the character placement is very, you know, it's going to be very divisive because whether you want the challenge or not, I think it's a bit unfair, even on the first level, and obviously the hitboxes and the double jump, and I think a combination of that plus a dodgy controller didn't help. But you know, if we were playing with a perfect controller, I still think, even if I was landing the jumps all the time, I still think the hitboxes in the enemy placements is a bit squiff, personally. So, Mr. Mark, what did you like about this game?
I found the controls a bit janky, but I don't know whether that's because of the controller we were using or whatever.
Sure,
but
yeah.
Didn't really go where I wanted to go.
Yeah,
I suppose.
control. I don't feel like you had quite the control over the character.
Yeah. It's kind of like
It's
feel
quite
very,
floaty, isn't it?
Didn't
It's
feel
weird.
very fluid. Didn't
Yeah.
feel like I could get up to platforms easily or anything. There was a bit on that level where there's like the spikes and stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Like you have to get on the platform beneath it.
Yeah.
I couldn't seem to do it easily without hitting
hit.
the spikes.
Yeah.
So I couldn't jump sideways. The jump is very vertical. It's not like you can jump across.
Surprisingly,
very well.
he gets a lot of air, that guy.
Yeah.
Very, very high. Like,
really powerful legs, but not for running.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean though. Like I've played the game enough times, I think, at this point to be like, okay, I get the jump and all that sort of stuff. But I know what you mean. Like, it's not like you can do like a short hop.
No.
It's kind of like you
That's
go
what I
very
wanted to
high.
do in places.
Yeah.
Like, just because I felt I spent so much time just jumping over enemies' attacks, and like it just stopped me from attacking them.
Yeah.
Even if I ducked, but then they would do a low attack, and I'd
Yeah.
have to jump over that and then duck again. And it's just like I couldn't just.
Sort of flow of the gameplay. It felt like it was
Yeah.
breaking out too much for you.
It's like I enjoyed some of the combat, but sometimes it's just like I don't know how I can do this without getting hit at least once.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't help that this is the first time I played the game,
Sure.
so I wasn't
yeah,
used to
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm sure if I played it more, I'd get used to it and enjoy it more. But
First impressions.
I just felt like it was difficult to just nail loads of enemies at once, and I don't know what else I didn't like about it.
I mean, we didn't between you and me, we didn't have a huge playtime ourselves, so we mainly got Fruity to play it because being able to see more of the game and.
As like the first like try of this, it's not the easiest game to pick up.
No.
Like you kind of need more than like I don't know.
You need to. I think it's definitely one of those games you have to have the patience for it to sit down. Like this, for a single player game, I think there's like definitely a high difficulty curve there, but I think it's quite rewarding because once you do learn how to do it, you can, like you said, you can speed run it, but you can go through the levels, kind of generally knowing where the enemies are going to be and how they're going to react most of the time, and learn like the extra skills and extra tricks. Obviously, I've not read the manual for this. I never had a manual for it, so I didn't know like when I first played it about the double jump and then the attack. I didn't know about like the melee attacks. That's something I just picked up from watching either Fruity or me playing and finding that out. And obviously, the game does give you. I actually don't mind the way that he controls. I quite like the fact that he jumps quite high. The verticality bit, the horizontal bit's kind of annoying. I get that, but it's like if I'm playing Mega Man. Mega Man jumps high but not far.
When you unlock the double jump, you can go like way further, like horizontally.
So like I don't really have too much problem with it, but I can see why. Like I mean, you and me, we played a lot of Mario. We're kind of used to that being able to short hop. Go quite far, not as high, and even with Sonic, it's similar.
Yeah.
But this game, even though it's a platformer, it's more like you said, it's a much slower paced platformer. It's not like hold right and run.
I guess I just like side-scrolling platformers where you
This
can,
isn't the
like,
kind of
motion,
game
where you can blitz through
Yeah.
levels quite easily and just like jump on them enemies and stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than
I fully understand
constantly
that.
avoiding projectiles, like
Yeah.
like jumping over
This isn't the
projectiles
kind of
constantly. Like,
This is the kind of game which I fully expect you to be like divisive.
Yeah.
It's the type of game that wouldn't usually play. It's not really a fault with the game itself. It's just like I prefer a different style of like side-scrolling lane. Yeah.
Just wait till I dark the retro in this.
Be so good. Mr. Fruity then, like what? I mean, I know this is probably like a tough one for you, but is there anything you don't like about this game?
But it's the same, like the double jump I find like really phonetically, even if I am using like an emulator or something, like it's never like super obvious, especially when you're jumping forward
Yes.
rather than jumping straight up. It's a bit dodge.
A bit dodge, mate.
But like other than that, like I mean some of the enemy placement is kind of like meant to like fuck you over sometimes, so it doesn't really bother me.
I just remembered. I forgot to bring up the doors on the airship. That is actual bullshit.
Yeah, those doors are annoying because when the doors close, they barely close. And as soon as you hit halfway down the sprite of the open door, you go into the animation of you falling out the plane.
Yeah.
Which is really hard when you have like grenades launchers and like people shooting you. So like, and then if you get knocked back, as soon as you hit that halfway point, you're dead. You can't do anything about it.
So much insta kill.
Like that whole airplane carrier is just a nightmare. Like that level is really hard.
But
it can be super easy, or it can be really hard depending on like your luck. It basically depends on what the enemies decide to do.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But like those doors are really badly designed. I think they had like a good idea, but like the implementation just doesn't work.
Not with the amount of shit.
I can never work out what cycle they run on, because like when you're closer, they seem to then trigger the close. Like if you're not close enough to the door, it won't close.
Yeah.
But even when you're close to it, it doesn't close very often, and some doors don't open.
Yeah.
And other doors just never seem to close. Like, I think that's also the problem with that level is like it's a very vertical level where like there's a lot of like high ground to jump to, and because the grenade launchers can like fire over.
Yeah, you constantly.
And because you need to jump high to jump over the doors, you can't avoid getting shot a lot of times. So I don't know if there's implementation, but that whole level is really badly done. Like those doors are just a nightmare.
It wouldn't be so bad if you changed one or two things. You make the doors on a consistent cycle and they close for quite a long time, or you move some of the enemies further away so you're not getting.
Yeah, but a lot of times with like the doors aren't dangerous unless there's an enemy there. So I understand why they do that, because it just means that there's like a blank section that you can't jump into.
Yeah.
And like where they place your enemies means that they can attack like before, after, or like where you're gonna jump from, like the grenade launchers.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't really know what they're thinking on that level. To be honest.
It's like, God damn it! Damn the game designers.
It's just so vertical. If like the enemies are all like a level with you, then you could easily jump over the door after killing them. Because you need to kill a lot of those enemies, you have to kill like in mid-air. Or like I don't know how else you're meant to be able to kill them.
Yeah, it is. It seems it's one of those levels you don't want to run out of cooldown.
Yeah, it's that thing where they pair like every grenade thrower with like a machine gun. It's like it's hard because it means you can't go straight and you can't go over.
Yeah.
If you get far enough back to stop the grenades being thrown, then you just quickly run before the grenades start throwing.
Unless
again.
in that case you do use the shielded special ability.
I mean, I could have done.
Yeah. But
hardcore.
Yeah, I don't want to make it too easy. Anything else?
Don't really know. Really, it does kind of bug out every now and then. The double jump also kind of like breaks some of like the animations.
Yeah.
It's a couple of times the level with like the fence. Like I got kind of like caught because like the pillars holding up the fence. If you jump into the background, you should be able to land on top of them.
Yeah.
There's a couple of times where like the double jump meant I kind of like span through where I'm meant to be landing, or like it would drop me like away from where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
So rather than landing on top of it, it would drop me like to the sides. Like
yeah,
I'd move like in a straight line. I'd move like straight horizontal, then it would like Kantari. That's not a word. Continue the animation.
I know what you mean. I remember watching
it. Why it's hitting me hard. But yeah, like sometimes it's just like, come on, like that's not what I want.
Yeah. Come on, just push me up onto the ledge, damn it.
But I think a lot of these things are just like problems with like games at the time. Like I think it's very more just like it's what you accept with like older games.
It's just Sega just didn't have the quality that Nintendo had.
Well, Sega does.
What Nintendo?
Yeah, say it yourself.
Sorry, I'm just
the
like
shittest claim ever.
We got the blast processors. So you know we just process everything really fast.
Yeah, not even a thing. No, I mean you're right. All games of that sort of 16-bit era, there are a lot of games that are really good. There are a lot of games that are a bit shit, and there are games that just don't function.
I think also it's like they had an idea, but like to try and implement it is really hard on like the MegaDrive.
Yeah.
I think when they looked at like the game design like document for this, you'd be like, oh, it sounds like a really interesting idea. But like trying to implement it isn't the easiest with like the controls that you have and like the amount of frames that the MegaDrive runs on.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like you say, it's of its time. You can play any game sort of. And this was '89 that this game came out in, so it's
still
early days. So
like, doing more than like a Mario or like a Sonic with like button inputs.
Yeah,
it's kind of quite challenging at the time.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is like you see that improve. I'm trying to think of like later. I used to look up some later platforming games and stuff like that on the end of the MegaDrive thing because I imagine they're really good, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. So, but obviously,
just think of the development cycle of Sonic, basically.
Yeah. Sonic
That's what I'm thinking of. By the time you get to your Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. But there must be other games that came out there. Obviously, Shinobi 3 also came out, which I've never played, so it might be worth looking into that.
Let's just do it. The only Shinobi game I've played.
Yeah.
I don't think I've really played any of the others.
I'll have to give it a whirl at some point. But let's move on to the next thing then. Does this game hold up? Mr. Mark,
I was just hurried up to about 4 hours ago.
I mean, like we've spoke a lot I mean, I can go first if you'd like, but
No, that's alright. No.
No. Now, why did you feel that way?
It's like a dagger in my heart.
Like most Mega Drive games, I don't really have much
nostalgia.
I
do like how mine and Mark's like nostalgia are like completely separate. It's like every game I recommend, Mark's like, I hate it, or like, I've never heard of this. And every time I play a game that Mark recommends, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. This isn't what I want.
I'm right in the middle because I have both.
What I was going to say is, like most Mega Drive games, I don't really have much.
Apart from Streets of Rage.
I don't really want to go back to it. I don't really feel like.
Yeah, sure.
I'd quite like to try it again and get a bit better, but I don't. I don't know. It just doesn't flow very well.
Like
it's not a very fluid game. It's not. It's quite frustrating. I find it quite frustrating. Like trying to work my way in between like projectiles whilst trying to kill things at the same time.
And plus, you were fighting with the controller for a good chunk of that. I mean, it wasn't too bad when I found one that worked, but I know what you mean. Like you are probably similar. You have a similar taste in platformers where it's like we like platformers that you can kind of like run through levels and kind of you can choose to play it quite quick or quite slow. With this game, you kind of have to play it quite slowly.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is speed runs of it. So
just not my kind of game. Like platforming, I like to be able to quickly get around and dominate. Whereas I felt like I was just all the enemies like just overwhelming me all the time, and there was no way of me being able to like nail my way through them quickly.
Gotta get good.
Get out.
Yeah, probably doesn't help.
Keep saying get good.
Probably doesn't help that I haven't played it before, so I was shit. It's like I'm sure if I played it more, I'd enjoy it more and be able to squeeze through it better.
I played it more than you, and I'm still shit at it. Like I'm fully aware that I'm terrible.
It's just the best like terrible meme argument.
Get good.
Okay, good. Get good.
Do you think it holds up, Levi?
Do I think it holds up? This is really interesting because actually, out of the 3 games on this pack, this is probably the one that I would go back to the most. Like I think.
Yeah, I think it's actually probably more
playable.
It's got more to it than Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage is more mindless.
It's that challenge.
And like Streets of Rage gets more repetitive, whereas this seems like it's got a bit more variety to it, like the enemies and like the way you have to avoid
Streets of Rage isn't massively
no, if you do it co-op. I think Streets of Rage is still fun if you play it co-op. On its own, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Golden Axe is just a terrible game. But we'll get to that another time.
Streets of Rage isn't designed to like be played single. I think they pretty much designed it to be played co-op.
Shinobi, it's a weird one. Like, it's not a game that I particularly have. Like I've played it enough times, and there are obviously parts I enjoy. There's obviously the frustrations I talked about tonight. But I don't hate this game, and I will more than likely play it again in the future. Do I think it holds up? I mean, if I was going to give this to somebody, I would be like, just don't go into this with the mentality thinking that, remember this is an older game that from a time where bullshit happens in a lot of games like this, like, because that's what I asked you guys earlier, I was like, is this an arcade game? Because I was thinking this is definitely one of those games that would eat your quarters, or in America, or pound coins over here. 50p.
It's a really bad exchange rate.
I don't even know what it is. 50p's? I don't know. But like
back in the 90s, we did fairly well at the exchange rate.
But it's definitely one of those games that has that, even though it's not an arcade game, has that arcadey feel to it. To me, where I'm like, okay.
I was very surprised by that.
Like,
I legitimately thought this
just
was
made for the
game.
MegaDrive. That's probably why.
I can imagine playing this with like a joystick
and stuff.
I
mean, I haven't really answered the question. Do I think it holds up? I actually do. But it definitely comes with a caveat being like, this is of its time. It's from that era of games where if you expect like the modern, if you remake this game, there will be modern mechanics. It'll be a bit more fluid. It'll probably be a bit easier to play. But because it's from that time in the late 80s, early 90s, where there were a lot of platform or side-scrolling games, there was like that kind of like like that, like instant death traps and all this sort of stuff. If you can accept that, then you're going to have a fun time with this, and the challenge is there to be had. There are cool things like the level designs and stuff like that, but just be prepared that this isn't going to be like a piece of cake. This isn't Mario that has a nice difficulty curve. This game drops you in and it's tough from the go. And I think if you enjoy a challenge, then absolutely play it. So and I think it does hold up. And that's actually surprised me because I thought I'd say that about Streets of Rage, but no, I don't think Streets of Rage held up when we did that one.
Oh damn!
But
you do.
Well, I pretty much haven't stopped playing this game, so can't really say it doesn't hold up. So yeah, it does hold up. Every like couple of years, I go back to this. pretty much every time someone puts in like the Sega like Ultimate Collection,
Mega Collection.
Mega Collection, or like emulator. Like play this game a lot. Like I think I still got the original cartridge somewhere. Like this is very much. But I think this like as you were saying about like someone who likes to challenge stuff. This is very much into like my like niche game. Like my niche game is
Dungeon, dark games with dark in it.
Yeah. Like my niche is like very hard games that take a long time to like get used to.
Strategies involved.
And like JRPGs, like the two things I play a lot of, which have like a level of strategy as well. Like I kind of like the planning in this because like this game's more about like planning than like reaction, which is very different to like the other like platforms at the time. So you give like Ninja Gaiden stuff's way more like reacting to the situation you're in, whereas this game's more like you have to kind of plan. Like as soon as you see something like pop in on the screen, you know you have to like deal with that and then like move on. Like you can't like just rush forwards. Like it's more about like planning and then working out how I'm going to deal with this. So like walking towards it and seeing which of like the couple of like AI paths it can do and then like countering them. So like this Scratch is like my Dark Souls itch. Like like Darkest Dungeon, like FTL, like all those games I like to play a lot of.
Yeah, I was just thinking this is
very much up my street.
This is one of those games, and this is going to sound like a weird comparison, but I'll try and make a point of this. This reminds me of Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. It's not a game.
Another game I really like.
This is one of those games where it's like I enjoy that game, but I think it's got problems. Obviously, being colourblind doesn't help. But I'd come back to and play from time to time because it's like there is fun to be had. But I think
a lot of the problems I let slide because of like when this was made. Like I said before, like I mean, if this game came out today, it wouldn't be anything like what it is now. But like hypothetically, if this game got released today, like I'd find this way more jarring. But like because it's a MegaDrive game, you just kind of accept it. Like you kind of just accept that there's like going to be a bit jank.
Yeah, I know.
But like if the core mechanics and like the gameplay loop appeal to you, you can like adjust to that.
Yeah.
I think it's also like it's not what you expect with like your modern knowledge of games. Like you were saying before with like the wall riding and like Metroid and stuff like that. Like, all that stuff's like way more ironed out nowadays.
Yeah, it's obviously improved.
So like for me playing this, I just readjust to like playing it with like the MegaDrive pad and just being like, yeah, this is going to be like jank and it's not going to register what you do every time.
Yeah.
But like as long as it does it like most of the time, it's not too bad.
Yeah, yeah.
And because it's not too like reactionary, it's annoying, but you can still like adjust to it not working.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. Like
definitely probably play this as an emulator.
Yeah,
like,
best input as possible.
Yeah, play this emulated. I think is probably the best time I've had with this in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
as long as you're on the original copy or however the legal side of this works.
I think it's really interesting because I was just thinking then, like, if Sega said, "Oh, we're going to remake this game," like, I could see this game would be so different because they would be
I could see a really cool, like, not so much like Meat Boy, but like a really cool like platformer with this. Like, I would like to see like a modern reimagining of this.
I think if they remade it, you would have things like wall jumping. It'd be way quicker. Yeah. I don't think it would be as slow as this version is. I think it would be way like, just way more like just a much faster game. Like I think it would still be tough because the enemies would be quick as well. With playing an ninja, you want that speed. But I think I could actually in my head, I'm like, you'd be jumping off walls. You'd be like, you know, like walk up, grab stuff. You know, like
that's true. I think a lot of this reason why this game's so slow is like the load is quite bad.
Yeah,
and it's the reason why enemies pop in just before you. I think like it's not the best optimized game. Like I feel like
I wouldn't mind playing the
game could be quite laggy.
The 3DS version. That was the last game in the series, and it's very much like side scroller like the older games. I wouldn't mind seeing what that's like because that might be. I know it's apparently really tough as well.
Although the big collection went pretty well. I mean, I played it on PS3.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that working fine, like the PS3 controller.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's
that's a nice legal way, I guess.
It's definitely interesting. Like, it's one of those games. Like, it would be very different if it was remade and stuff. But like, if you are gonna play this now, and I was gonna recommend this to people, I'd just be like, don't go in there thinking it's gonna be a piece of cake. Like,
so I'd hate to think how many hundreds of hours I put into this game. So it's like this game Ground and like Sonic 1 and 2 are like the main 4 games I played on like Sega Mega Drive over and over, and maybe the Aladdin game got kind of near it, and like after that it's like Aladdin and Micro Machines I got later.
Yeah.
Like these 4 games were like the ones I played so much. Like,
4 games that are fucking janky as well.
I hate to think how many hours I've spent in these games.
I do.
It didn't matter back then. I had nothing to compare it to.
I know. It's funny with Revenge of Shinobi and Gain Ground because those are 2 games that
no one's heard of. I guess more people heard of Shinobi.
It's not that. It's just they're 2 games that are like
no one knows Gain Ground.
Unnecessarily difficult.
So neat.
You know, so it's
that's what made me the gamer I am today.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is us done. I hope you've enjoyed listening to us ramble on for about an hour about this game. I've actually some different opinions going on, which I quite like. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Helps us out a huge amount. And we hopefully got some more fun stuff coming your way fairly soon.
Also, has anyone completed this game? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Has anyone actually completed this game?
Let us know.
Oh yeah, I want to know.
In the comment section below.
Yeah.
Down there. I'm pointing down, but you can't see.
Also, like, save states don't count.
Yeah. None of that cheap shit.
Fucking noob.
Yeah, I use save states.
I use them all the time, not for this game.
Just cover myself. But anyway, thank you very much for listening as always. And it's goodbye from me, and it is goodbye from these 2.
Bye.
Bye.